Hello, my name is Rebecca Lee, and today I will be talking about my service learning opportunity that I had with the nursing program. We did school screenings, so we went to different elementary schools in the area. On my particular day, we went to 2 elementary schools. And the setting for this is one of them was in like a teacher's break room that we did the school screenings and the kids just cycled through. We had kids ages kindergarten, 2nd grade, and 6th grade, I believe. And so they do it like every other year, or so it must have been, sorry. It was kindergarten, 2nd grade, and 4th grade, that's right. Because they screen the kids every other year in the school screenings. And so our role as nursing students in the school screening process is we're learning skills that we have learned in nursing school to test them on the children. So we do blood pressure, we check their height and weight. We also help them with like hearing screenings. And the reason that this is good is school screenings are a preventative measure in school, because sometimes kids don't have access to the right physical care that they need. And so having a screening at their school can help to catch some things before they progress too much, to help the kid get the health care that they need. And I think they also do vision screenings, but we didn't perform those that day. So that was our job. So the particular student that I worked with, the student was about in the 2nd grade. And the reason that they were being screened is because this student was in the 2nd grade and it was time for their screening. This student was very timid, nervous, shy to be there. You could tell that the student was kind of flushed in the face and not really sure what was going on. And so I think one of the things that I used was just trying to explain the process of, we were doing a hearing test on her. And so I was trying to explain the process of the hearing test, because how it works is there's a noise in your ear, and then the student will raise their hand and say, I heard it in this ear. No, I heard it in this ear. And for some of the kids, we were in the gymnasium. They couldn't hear very well in general, just being in the gym, and they didn't understand the directions. So one way of therapeutic communication that I tried to focus on was making sure that the kid understood the directions to the assignment before anything else. Because if the kid doesn't understand, excuse me, if the kid doesn't understand the directions for the assignment, how are they supposed to raise their hand? So one way I tried to think of explaining how to do it was, okay, if you hear like a, kind of like the sound of a microwave going off in your ear, then raise your hand. Because some kids were expecting a very loud sound in their ear, when in reality it's a high-pitched frequency that's not very loud. So they would hear it and then maybe not raise their hand because it wasn't the same sound that they were expecting. So that was kind of one of the therapeutic communication strategies that I tried to use, explaining the process very thoroughly with the children, listening to make sure they understood. If they have any questions like, what am I doing? Why am I putting this on? Just being very patient and clarifying with that student. So how this works for the school screenings is if the student can't hear in their ear, then we have to give them to somebody else and they are rechecked. So my student did have to get rechecked. This could be for a lot of reasons. It could be from legitimate hearing loss, or it could be that the student has buildup of earwax in their ears, or just a number of things. We were in a large gymnasium, so just trying to mitigate those different factors to get the most accurate reading is important. And doing a second check when you've checked a child, sending them to somebody else to make sure that if there is a problem that needs to be addressed or followed up with, that we are doing 2 checks to make sure that we're not just saying a kid can't hear when they in reality can. So just doing multiple checks just helps the accuracy of the situation. So the student got checked again after being re-explained how to tell where the hearing is in each ear, and the student could hear but just needed a re-explanation of what the sounds sounded like. So this is a really good example of how to adapt your approach based on their response, because you want to help the kids who have, bad reading so that you can get them the help that they need, but making sure that your data is accurate of what you collected from the kids is also very important. So something I learned about communicating with children and adolescents is that you have to explain to kids medical things that make sense to them at the time of their development. So for example, if I'm taking a kid's blood pressure, they don't know what blood pressure means, or so just saying like, okay, I'm gonna put something around and it's gonna give your arm a tight squeeze, instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna take your blood pressure, because they don't know what that means. And so being able to educate kids on their level is important, because just because they're young doesn't mean they should know what is going on with their health, but it is very important to meet them at their age range. As a nurse, this experience will shape me in the nursing practice, because it's given me a lot of just tools on how to talk to kids, how to be kind to kids when the results are abnormal, how to comfort the kids and not make them live in fear about their health, but that they feel empowered, and having health promotion to help the kids feel empowered to take care of themselves instead of fear of what could happen from a bad prognosis. So this connects to serving my community through nursing, because using the skills that I learned in nursing school really does help the community with disease prevention. And if kids can learn how to take care of themselves at a young age and how to look for the signs of abnormal health, and if they learn how to eat a healthy diet and stay active and all of those things at a young age, that equips them to take care of themselves as adults. And so using the things that we learn in nursing school and educating the community is a way to help people avoid disease in their future. So this impact was very good on me and the students, because school screenings, you're able to screen a lot of kids. I think we had about 100 kids at each school that we were screening for the day. And that is a lot of kids to be able to see at one time. And even though you're not doing a comprehensive exam, you're highlighting pinpoints of problems that you're able to assess with vision, hearing, blood pressure. Those are all like very high points of kids' health, and their weight also, their BMI, their height, to make sure that they are on the right trajectory of growth for their age. And so that impact for those students is really good, because you can screen a lot of people at once. And so it really showed me the power of uniting as a community to come together and help those who need it. So thank you so much for listening. I really enjoyed this experience and hope that you learned something too.